Rational inequalities. Today, we're focusing on solving rational inequalities. So let's start by solving x minus 3 over x plus 2 is greater than or equal to 0. Let's start and draw a number line. Now we need to set the numerator of the function equal to 0. So x is equal to 3. And if we set the denominator of the function equal to 0, the second point of interest is equals to negative 2. So let's put those values in a number line and add a positive infinity to the right and negative infinity to the left. Notice that we have x plus 2 in the bottom, and if you have 0 in the denominator, the function will be undefined. So x plus 2 should not be equal to 0. Therefore, we should put an unshaded circle in negative 2 to indicate that it's not included, while we should put a shaded circle in positive 3 to indicate that it's included because the numerator can be equal to 0. Now, according to this equation, the fraction should be greater or equal to 0, which means that we're looking for positive results. And there are 3 regions that are important in this number line, which we will determine the sign of each of those. Let's start on the first one. Choose a number on the region between 3 and positive infinity. Let's pick positive 4 and substitute it in our rational inequality fraction. Let's substitute it in the numerator. 4 minus 3 will give us positive, and in the denominator, 4 plus 2 is also positive. Positive divided by positive will then give us positive, so let's put that in our number line. Next is in the region between negative 2 and 3. Let's choose the value of 0 and substitute. Substitute in the numerator. 0 minus 3 will give us negative, and in the denominator, 0 plus 2 will give us positive. Negative divided by positive will then give us negative, so let's put that on our number line. Then let's find out the sign of the last one, the region between the negative infinity and negative 2. Let's choose negative 4 and substitute to the fraction. Negative 4 minus negative 3 will give us negative. Negative 4 plus 2 will give us negative. Negative divided by negative will give us positive, so let's put that on our number line too. Next, again we want the fraction to be greater than or equal to 0, so we want the positive values. So we're gonna shade the positive regions, which are the left and the right sides. So the solution in interval notation is going to be negative infinity to negative 2 with a parenthesis due to the unshaded circle, and union 3 to infinity with the brackets due to the shaded circle we have. Now to express that using inequalities. For this part x is less than negative 2, right? Or for this part x is greater than 3. So that's how we can solve this specific rational inequality. Let's try another sample problem. X minus 4 multiplied by x plus 1 over x minus 3 less than 0. Feel free to solve this equation before I do. Let's start by drawing a number line and solve its points of interest. So the points of interest are negative 1, 3, and lastly 4. Write positive infinity to the right and negative infinity to the left. Now, negative 3 is in the denominator, so it shouldn't be equal to 0. Therefore, we're going to unshade circle at negative 3. Notice that the sign is less than and not less than or equal. So in fact, all of these points of interest will be plotted with unshaded circles. The only time we're going to have shaded circles is when we're using the greater than or equal to or less than or equal to signs. The shaded regions are from the points of interest found in the numerator. Now, since it's less than 0, we want to find the regions that are negative and not positive, because basically negative numbers are less than 0. So let's check the signs of the 4 regions. First is the region between 4 and positive infinity. Let's choose 5. In the numerator, 5 minus 4 is positive, and 5 plus 1 is positive. In the denominator, 5 minus 3 is also positive. If we multiply to positives and divide it by positive, we will get a positive result. So the first result in the number line is positive. Remember that we're looking for negative results. Now, let's pick a number in the region between 3 and 4. Let's say 3.5. In the numerator, 3.5 minus 4 is negative, and 3.5 plus 1 is positive. In the denominator, 3.5 minus 3 is positive. If we multiply negative to positive and divide it by positive, we will get a negative result. Next, let's pick a number in the region between -1 and 3. Let's use 0. In the numerator, 0 minus 4 is negative, and 0 plus 1 is positive. In the denominator, 0 minus 3 is negative. If we multiply negative to positive and divide it by negative, we will get a positive result. Lastly, let's pick a number in the region between -infinity and -1. Let's use -2. In the numerator, -2 minus 4 is negative, and -2 plus 1 is negative. In the denominator, -2 minus 3 is negative. If we multiply negative to negative and divide it by negative, we will get a negative result. To express this solution in interval notation, again we want the negative results. So the answer is going to be negative, infinity to 1, union, 3 to 4. Note that we'll only use parentheses due to unshaded circles. As an inequality, we can say that x is less than 1. Right? Or x is between 3 and 4. Thank you.